Well, it's funny that you guys are talking about Steve Jobs. I mean, obviously he just died and it's just devastating. I think it's really struck, the entire United States, the entire world in so many ways.
The president talked about it today.
Yeah, it's a very, very upsetting thing. And because he's left everyone with so much. So in honor of him, I was hoping I'd like each of you to share what this means to you.
The Mac Plus.
Oh, that was the greatest thing.
And you can pass it
That
along
was
if you
amazing.
would like.
I need to touch it. I'll tell you, this to me was freedom. It allowed me to
From his parents.
Yes, it allowed me to drive my business. I could organize my business on this Macintosh Plus, something like this. And
do you remember when it came
then
out?
I remember, yes, of course. And I'm one of the first in line to buy it. And I used it as a spreadsheet and a word processor, and it was so valuable to me. I could get lots more done than I ever could before. My mom told me to go to typing class, and I hated her for it. And then now I realize it was the most important thing she could have taught me, because I can actually type. But here's one other thing. My daughter, I brought one of these into my daughter, Jessica Draper.
That would be me.
That would be the Valley Girl. And I took off the lid. And she looked down at it and she said, "Wow, it's like a city in there." And that's what this
Very
Macintosh
good.
Plus means to me.
Oh.
Oh,
That's great.
that is much heavier than a laptop.
Steve Jobs came a long way.
The evolution of the product has come a long way. Just as far as design, he was able to focus on design after he made this. What it means to me is, actually, my dad brought home one of these after the city incident with my sister, and we had a family computer that we all got to use, and I learned on AOL that you were able to communicate with other people just randomly. I learned what a chat room was, and I think that this sort of gave birth to my need for technology that grew through the ages.
What was the first thing you did or remember doing on that computer?
I was about to say there was this game called Vector Racer, I believe it was called. It was this little game where you were racing around shooting. They were vector images, so they were sort of three-dimensional, and it moved sort of slowly compared
Like
to games.
asteroids?
Yeah, it's sort of like asteroids, except you were actually a little tank that you were shooting other bad tanks, and you were killing. It was a great game, and I would say that is the first thing that I remember.
I remember doing a lot of math on that too.
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, my.
Is that how you became such a great mathematician?
She is, actually. She's good.
I was good until calculus.
EPGY.
Our dad sort of drilled us in EPGY, a fantastic mathematics program that we had to excel in.
Yeah, created by a PhD at Stanford, and it was great for all of you. It was sort of yet another direction you could take with your math.
I'm gonna
No,
pause it.
no, feel free to keep it.
Okay.
Well, Pop, so what does this? What are your memories of this, and what does this mean to you? Pops.
Oh, I think my memory is sending Len Baker out to look at a deal that the Rockefellers had sent to us because we had given them Apollo computer. Arthur Rock fired Steve Jobs. He takes the credit for firing him. And of course, then he went and founded Pixar, really made Pixar great.
Yeah.
Then he came back to Apple and was hired back because it was failing badly. And since that time, went up something like 7,000 times. So you don't have to be a venture capitalist to make a lot of money on the inside. You got to pick the right public stocks, though, and there aren't many like Apple. It's now, I heard somebody this morning say that they thought it was the best managed large company in the world.
Well, I mean, I think Steve Jobs meant a lot to all of us, obviously. He's a huge hero of mine. He's a huge hero of all of yours. And just any entrepreneur, I think he meant so much, to them. So I'm glad we could have that moment.